started on a Tuesday night, right when I was getting ready for bed. I had my tea in hand, a cozy blanket wrapped around me, and some random reality show playing on TV. Everything was normal, quiet, peaceful, even, until I caught a glimpse of something outside my bedroom window. At first, I thought it was just the tree in the yard casting a weird shadow. But then I noticed it wasn't moving with the wind like the branches were. It was still, too still, a shape, a person-shaped shape. I froze, clutching my mug like it was a weapon. My brain went into overdrive. Is someone actually out there? Am I imagining this? Did I accidentally leave the porch light on again, attracting all the weirdos in the neighborhood? I tiptoed to the window, heart racing, and peeked through the curtain. Big mistake. Standing there, right on the edge of the yard, was a man. He was tall and thin, wearing a dark hoodie. His face was hard to make out in the shadows, but I could see enough to know he was looking straight at me. Straight. At me. I jumped back so fast, I spilled tea all over myself. Great. Now I was terrified and covered in chamomile. I scrambled to turn off the lights, thinking maybe he wouldn't be able to see me if the house was dark. But then I remembered. He already saw me. I called a friend because, let's be honest, I wasn't going to deal with this alone. When I told them what was happening, they laughed. "Are you sure it's not just the neighbor?" they said. "Maybe he's taking a late-night stroll." A stroll? At the edge of my yard? Staring at my window? Right. Totally normal. I didn't sleep much that night. Every time I closed my eyes, I imagined him still standing out there, waiting for me to look again. But when morning came, I worked up the courage to check. He was gone. I convinced myself it was a one-time thing, a weird coincidence. Maybe I really was imagining things. But then it happened again. And again. Every night for a week, he was there. Same spot, same hoodie, same unsettling stare. It didn't matter what time I looked, 10 p.m., midnight, 3 a.m., he was always there, like some creepy statue that only showed up in the dark. One night, I decided to be brave, or stupid. Take your pick. I grabbed a flashlight and marched outside like I was on some heroic mission. My plan? Shine the light in his face and tell him to get lost. Simple, right? Except when I got out there, he was gone. The yard was empty, not a single footprint in the dirt. Nothing. I went back inside feeling like a fool, but then I heard it. A tap. On the glass. I spun around and there he was, closer this time. Right outside the window. I dropped the flashlight and let me tell you, I've never locked a door so fast in my life. By now, I was seriously losing it. I started sleeping with every light in the house on. I bought blackout curtains and refused to look out the window, no matter how tempted I was. But even when I couldn't see him, I knew he was there. I could feel it. It was like his presence had soaked into the walls. Then things got worse. One night, I woke up to the sound of footsteps on the porch. Slow, deliberate footsteps, like someone was pacing back and forth. My heart was pounding so hard I thought it might burst. I grabbed my phone and called the police, whispering into the receiver like I was in some kind of horror movie. When they arrived, the guy was, of course, nowhere to be found. They did a quick search of the area and told me there wasn't much they could do. "Probably just a prank," one of the officers said. A prank? Sure, because everyone loves a good terrify your neighbor by lurking outside their window joke. I started avoiding my own house as much as possible. I stayed late at work, visited friends, even sat in my car at the grocery store just to kill time. But eventually, I had to come home, and every time I did, he was there, watching. One night, I decided I'd had enough. I set up a camera in the window, aimed right at the spot where he always stood. If the police weren't going to take me seriously, I'd get proof myself. I stayed up late, waiting, watching the camera feed on my phone. And sure enough, there he was, right on schedule. But here's the thing. When I played the footage back the next day, there was nothing. The yard was empty. The camera didn't catch anything. Not even a shadow. It was like he wasn't real, like I was losing my mind. And then I found the note. It was taped to the outside of the window one morning, written in messy, uneven letters. "Why don't you come out and say hello?" That was it. I was done. I packed a bag, got in my car, and drove straight to a motel. I didn't even bother locking the door behind me. Let him have the house for all I cared. But the worst part? Even at the motel, I didn't feel safe. I kept the curtains closed, triple-checked the locks, and slept with the TV on for noise. But when I woke up in the middle of the night, I felt it again, that feeling of being watched. I sat up slowly, my throat dry, and turned to the window. There he was. I still don't know who or what he was. But if you ever see a stranger standing outside your window at night, don't look. Don't go outside. And definitely don't try to be brave. Just leave. Trust me, it's not worth finding out.